Thoughts don't cause suffering. The attachment to the thoughts is what causes suffering. You thinking that the thoughts are you, you attaching yourself to them while also being resistant to them because part of you believes that it's true, is what causes the suffering. It keeps the flow of thoughts trapped there. Almost like if you can imagine a stream of thoughts happening, almost like when you're meditating. And when you see one that your body is resistant to, that you don't like or don't want to identify with, you feel resistance. But then that resistance is what keeps that thought there. And then the stream starts piling up and you start creating your own little dam.
True. True. When we identify with thoughts, we think they're us. We try to battle with them. What you resist persists. And so you try to get rid of it. And by resisting it, it persists, continues on. Like, don't think of a purple elephant. Immediately you think of a purple elephant, essentially.
Exactly. Yeah, the more you resist, the more it persists. And then in meditation, it teaches you just to have non-judgmental awareness for these thoughts. And it's wild because these thoughts that trigger an emotion in our bodies, when we sit with it in presence and in non-judgment and allow that thought to pass without attaching ourselves or identity to those thoughts, then simultaneously as the thought leaves and is accepted for what it is, a thought, the emotion in the body that was connected to that thought also dissolves, which is a crazy thing. And it's both that are happening together. And it's usually those heavy emotions in the body that are always sitting there, or maybe even sitting there for as long as you can remember. Maybe you don't even know yourself apart from those thought loops and that feeling in your body because it's been on loop for so long in your life. Like for me, for example, I had so much anxiety in my body from as long as I can remember. And it was attached to all of these anxious loops and thoughts and like what ifs and, oh, I'm being perceived in this way. I don't like it this way. I don't like this thought. And it would keep like this giant like boulder of this like intense energy in my gut that I did not know my life apart from until I began meditating, becoming aware of those thoughts, and then finally coming to acceptance for them. And then simultaneously, like I said, the feeling released in the body, and then the more lighter I felt.
Yeah, 100%. I think the first part of the journey of meditating, becoming aware of, you start to notice all these different thoughts, and you're like, whoa, these are impacting the way I see reality. So obviously you want to get rid of them. You start fighting them, try to resist them, try to battle with this monkey brain thoughts. But by battling it, you keep it there. So there's a really powerful thought experiment that comes from the idea of transmission theory. Essentially thinking of thoughts not as your own, not as something that you identify with, because the two battles are, one, identifying with it, two, trying to get rid of it. Both of those keep you stuck within them. So transmission theory is a interesting thought experiment where you recognize the thoughts not as your own. They're kind of just all floating around the ether. Every thought that ever was or ever could be is kind of just existing there. And the brain acts more as a radio receiver, where it, once tuned to a specific dial, can pick up a frequency range of thoughts. And this allows you to think of thoughts not as like the identification or this is my thought I'm battling, but just you're tuned to that radio station. So you don't have to fight the station. You don't have to go and beat up the host of that station. You just switch the dial to a different segment of thoughts. And this has been really powerful for me, just like not identifying with the thoughts, just allowing them to kind of exist. They have a right to exist, but you don't have to live within them or identify with them.
Exactly. Yeah, every thought has a right to exist. A life-changing thing that we read in, I think, Transurfing Reality. Every reality has a right to exist. And that really cuts the resistance to when you're experiencing something that maybe feels heavy or unpleasant in the body. And obviously, yeah, like the first thing I wanted to do when I became aware of that inner voice and that inner stream of thoughts that was dictating my entire life was I was mad at it, and I wanted it to go away, and I wanted to get rid of it, and I wanted to fight it. But by trying to do that, it actually enhanced the feeling. It made it worse. It made it more prominent in my life. And it almost like kept tangling up the knot in my stomach that was there. So yeah, the awareness of it, of, oh, this is just a stream of thoughts that I've been identifying with because of these belief systems I picked up from a young age that aren't true, then it helps unravel that whatever is inside or whatever that belief is. And then also another thing is that I found when I started meditating was you get to this point in meditation where you allow all the thoughts and then they just start to slow down. So at first it's like a rushing stream and you just have to allow it to go, 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 go. And then eventually they start getting very slow. And then eventually you're kind of just existing in nothingness and everything. And by experiencing that, you realize that you are everything and nothing at the same time. And the biggest revelation I got from that was what I identify with, I become. So
the power of I am.
The power of the I am. Exactly. So you're still playing in this ego and this character in this 3D realm, right? Like the goal, especially for us, it's not to go exist only in the realm of nothingness and everything. Like I think dancing between it is the human experience, but
duality and oneness, I guess.
Yeah, going awareness and then ego. Awareness and ego. It's so natural. It's like the human experience. But the cool thing is, to create your reality, you get to pick which
where
ego
you identify with or collapse.
Exactly, and then you get to experience it in your life. And just by learning that alone, just through meditation, that has changed our lives.
It's cool what you were saying about thoughts slowing down. I made this little blackboard I was describing the other day, talking about the wavelengths, the different frequencies that your brain kind of oscillates in. At all times you have all of these in different amounts, but depending on the primary, you are within that state. So there's 5 of the main ones. You have, starting with delta. That's your deep rest, sleep, your recovery. Theta, you have your meditation, creativity zones, like half sleep. Alpha is when you start becoming aware of your subconscious. It's relaxation. And beta is where you're in your problem solving essentially most of the day. Kind of this aware but in the moment problem solving. If you have too high beta, it becomes stressful. But it's interesting because depending on what you're resonating at, that's the level of activity in your mind. So like you were saying, for your thoughts slowing down, starting in beta, you have a lot of thoughts happening. There's a lot of activity in the brain. As you relax a little bit in alpha, your thoughts start to slow down. The activity in your brain starts to slow down and further down to delta, where you are in a deep sleep, essentially.
Yeah.
But you can actively shift between these states, and with that becomes their own set of frequencies, amounts of thoughts, or activity in the brain, which is pretty powerful.
Right. And yeah, exactly. Like when you start meditating, it's the fast stream, and you're probably in beta because you're watching so many thoughts go by, and it seems really difficult at first, but as you use your breath to ground yourself and calm down, you just slowly start moving down. And then theta, my favorite, is where so powerful. It's where you can start reprogramming your subconscious mind and your identification, your I am, and you can change your life through accessing theta consistently.
This is where a lot of your memory consolidation and learning happens. So you're in a very hypnotic state. You're very receptive. This is where you're in most of the time as a kid is theta. You're taking in a lot of new information. You're learning a lot. So being able to get back to this point of theta allows you access to become very neuroplastic and start learning new thought patterns, which is really powerful.
Right, exactly. And I was going to say something else, but it just slipped my mind.
Another cool one is gamma, which is kind of funny because starting at beta that most of us are in most of the day and all the way down. You go through all these, by the way, every day and night. So you start in deep rest, you wake up, you go up the chain to beta and then back down again when you fall asleep. One of the cool ones that we didn't talk about is gamma. This one's really interesting. It's kind of when the brain has super fast activity. It's like a very high resonant state. So funny enough, you go past beta and you start hitting gamma, and this is a space that most of us only experience very few times throughout the day. It's like an aha moment, some profound insight resonating at a very high level. But monks have been proven to sustain this state over like long periods of time, which is kind of wild. They're just in this like aha moment, these crazy revelations over an extended period of time. It's kind of wild. So it's kind of cool how, starting with problem solving, you can go down. This is like your recovery and rest. This is where you can do some new inputs. Relaxation is kind of like you start becoming aware of some of those subconscious imagery and programming. And you can go all the way, resonate all the way at the top here and get some profound insights, and you're getting huge amounts of stimuli, but in almost this relaxed, hyper-aware state, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's like the state of ultra awareness. It's crazy because you can get to this state in meditation. It takes a lot of practice and doesn't happen all the time, but I think when we have reached that, it has been the most insane moments of pure awareness and revelations, and it's crazy. But yeah, it's not like a ranking system. All of these are useful for
and they're all
different
happening
things.
at all times. It's just in different combinations and in different harmonic structures.
Right. Yeah. Like sometimes you're more in
You
one
can also
than the
measure
other.
that. Like I've been using this EEG headband, and it allows you to measure your brain waves as you're essentially meditating, and you can watch your brain shift into these different states or patterns. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to use that after this video and see where my brain's at right now. Maybe it's beta. No, I don't know. But I think it'd be a cool like experiment to do if like I'm meditating and then you're like, okay, think of a stressful time. And then you can measure like how the brain is changing. And then you'd be like, okay, think of peace and expand your awareness to the room, and then see, like, it's really cool to test it out with the headband to see just how your brain is working while meditating.
It's interesting. The specific meditation that was hitting gamma was like heart meditation, so focusing on the heart and compassion. It's wild that focusing on the heart creates a resonance in the brain at that level as well.
Yeah, I guess it's really where you put your awareness it changes everything. Because what you focus on expands.
True.
It's crazy, yeah. There's so many different types of focused meditations for different things. But yeah, I think this past month we've been talking a lot about the thoughts. I like to see it as every thought they're existing at a specific frequency. And if your body's tuned to that frequency, that feeling, then you are going to receive those thoughts. It's like they're always streams running through the sky, invisible. But just being aware of that in general has helped me a lot with particularly my resistant thoughts that I usually identify with and think is me. And I'm more so able to calm my body down and with the breath and tune myself to whichever reality I want to be experiencing, whichever thought stream I want to be going through my brain. Because the goal isn't to get rid of thoughts. Yeah. We always have them. It's to become aware of them and use it as a tool rather than letting them use you.
Yeah, allowing them to come and go and move.
Yeah.
You just don't have to fight them and be resistant to them.
Yeah.
So, it's a journey. I know we talked about a lot in this video as we do. But let us know if you have any questions. We can respond to them in the comments. We love your comments. We're writing a book on all of this It's been a lot of information, but condensing it in a very digestible way.
Yeah.
And that should be coming out pretty soon here.
Less all over the place, more structured for you to be able to apply what we're talking about and manifest the life that you want to be living.
Yeah, kind of like step by step that has helped us. But
Yeah.
with that said, you can find that below. And anything else? I think that's all.
I think that's it.
We
You
love
are
ya.
not your thoughts. Remember.
Yeah. We'll see you next time.